Two merchants, the same town, the same trade, the same first year of profit. One spent what he earned. The other spent what he hoped to earn. 20 years later, one sat in a quiet orchard, at peace. The other stood before an empty stall, head bowed. The difference between them was not luck. It was not talent. It was one decision made every single day. His name was Aldric. In his 22nd year, the market smiled upon him. He earned 12 coins that season. He kept 11. Not because he was poor, but because he understood a rule no school had ever taught him. He wrote it in his ledger. Every coin I keep today becomes 3 coins by tomorrow. His neighbor Varro had also earned 12 coins. He spent 15. He bought silk robes, a carved cedar sign, and a new cart. He borrowed the difference, confident next season would be even better. Varro is not a man from a fable. He is every person who ever said, "I will save more when I earn more." But when they earned more, they spent more. And the gap between what they had and what they needed never closed. It grew. Think about the last time you got a raise. What happened next? For most people, a better salary became a better apartment. A better apartment became a better car. A better car became better clothes to match the car. And somehow, at the end of every month, the number in the bank account looked exactly the same as before. This is the trap that has no lock. No one forces you in. You walk in yourself, one reasonable decision at a time. A new phone because the old one was slow. A nicer restaurant because you worked hard this week. A weekend trip because you deserved it. A gym membership, a subscription, a coffee that costs more than a meal used to cost. None of these things are wrong, but together quietly, they consume everything you earn before it has a chance to grow. Varro did not make one big mistake. He made 1,000 small ones. Each one felt completely reasonable. Each one felt like progress. And together they built a beautiful prison he could not see from the inside. 10 years passed. Varro's stall grew magnificent canopy of gold thread, shelves of rare goods. But underneath the beauty, debt. When the drought came, and all droughts come eventually, Varro could not hold. He had no seed set aside. He had sold it all for silk, for cedar, for the appearance of wealth. Varro went first to the silk merchant. The silk merchant had nothing to spare. He went to the cedar carpenter. The carpenter shook his head. He went to the men he had laughed with at the tavern, the men who had admired his robes and praised his cart. One by one, they looked away, because generosity flows toward abundance. And abundance had left Varro's stall long before the drought arrived. He sat alone that evening in the stall he could no longer afford to fill. The cedar sign above him creaked in the dry wind. The gold thread of his canopy had begun to fray. He had built the appearance of a man who had everything, and now the appearance was all that remained. It was his wife who suggested he go to Aldric. Varro had resisted. Pride is the last thing a man spends when he has nothing left. But hunger is louder than pride. And so he walked across the market for the first time in years to the quiet stall in the corner that had never needed a cedar sign to tell people it was there. Varro visited Aldric, humble now, almost ashamed. "How did you survive it?" he asked. Aldric opened a locked chest. Inside, not gold. Rows and rows of small leather pouches, seasons of savings. "I didn't survive it," Aldric said. "I prepared for it." Even Aldric's discipline was tested. A merchant from the capital offered him everything, one massive trade, if only he would empty the chest. Aldric held the contract. His hand trembled. Then, slowly, he set it down. The way a man sets down something that could have destroyed him. "The chest is not for glory," he said softly. "The chest is for time." 20 years after Aldric's first coin, the market had changed. Storms had come, wars had raised prices, most merchants, even the beautiful ones, had folded. But Aldric walked the same path he had always walked. Past the stall of Varro, now silent. Past the stalls of men who had spent tomorrow and arrived to find nothing waiting. Aldric did not become wealthy in a single season. He did not discover a secret trade route. He did not inherit land or title. He simply decided very early that the life he wanted tomorrow was worth more than the comfort he could buy today. And he made that decision again. Every season, every harvest. Every time a merchant from the capital came with golden contracts and golden promises. Discipline is not a talent. It is not something you are born with. It is a choice made quietly, made repeatedly, made when no one is watching and nothing forces you to. The market around Aldric had changed 100 times. Prices had risen, trends had shifted, empires had come and gone. But the chest remained, and inside it not just coins, time, freedom, the ability to say no when everyone else had no choice but to say yes. That is what Varro had sold. Not silk, not cedar, not the cart. He had sold his options, one upgrade at a time, until the day came when he had none left. He sat beneath a tree outside the market. His grandson ran to him. Aldric handed the boy the very first pouch he had ever saved, still tied with the same cord. "What is inside?" the boy asked. Aldric smiled. "Tomorrow," he said. Varro did not lose his fortune to bad luck. He spent it one upgrade at a time on a version of himself that was never real. Lifestyle inflation is the thief that never breaks in. You invite it in yourself, one small luxury at a time. Tell me in the comments what is one thing you bought to look successful that cost you the chance to actually become successful.